Hello, I'm Ian, otherwise known as Aomis, and this is my channel. Sorry. Quick note, I have lost some footage at the end, so I apologise for that, and also the editing software shut down a couple of times, so I lost some progress in some places. I apologise for that. So I should have put a photo of the finished piece at the end, so you'll get to see what it looked like. Yeah. Quick background about the picture is basically it's fan art for Haikyuu, which is a sports anime. If you do not already know, I'm sorry I'm talking fast because I keep going over how long the video is because I'm just awkward, I guess. Yep, so it's basically I can't speak. Oh my god. Basically it's a small AU I've made, which is basically where the captains of the different teams kind of go on a road trip together and just kind of all this. And this is the first piece I've made of it, which is basically when they're just getting started. Yeah. They haven't got Oikawa yet. Yeah. So I was thinking about talking on ways to improve your art, basically. And I'm sorry if I stop and think for a bit. I'm just I apologize for that. It's basically sorry, I keep a good thing when doing art with something when it's just whether you're improving or whether you're not familiar with the subject, a good thing to use is references, like in the video. I have one on the right hand side. Yes, that is the right hand side. Because they can be really helpful. So rather than just guessing the way things look, or just basically just winging it. Instead of just winging it, if you have a reference, even if it doesn't turn out exactly like it, at least it's more accurate, and then it also contributes to your piece looking better as a whole. At least I hope it does. Well, in my case, I hope it does. I mean, but it generally are very helpful whether you're trying to improve or just it's just like I said before, something you're just not very familiar with doing. I'm not sorry. I'm trying to breathe. Another useful thing about references is that they don't just have to be from photos. Photos? Yeah, sorry. They can be from real life. So say, I keep saying I apologize. So basically you could just be sitting there with, say, your family or a friend, and if you draw them, it's also very useful. And when drawing from life, because the subject also moves, in the case if it's not a still life obviously, it also helps you get better, sorry, it allows you to do that. What's the word? Oh my god. It helps you get looser sketches and more flowy, and sometimes it can and eventually progress to maybe a neater sketch. Sorry. I have trouble with getting my sketches neat. They're usually really messy and rough, and sometimes I can't tell what they are, so so what I did instead, so I wouldn't just sketch it out in one go, what I'd be doing was rubbing out bits so I could tell what it was, and it just takes up more time, so that's not always the best thing. So it's a good thing to learn to draw from life, because you don't have the time to constantly erase and redraw things, so you have to just go off, and once it's what's the word? Yeah, so once the subject's gone, it's gone. You can't, no point in erasing it. That's how it is. But it's also a very good exercise. Another good way to improve on art is like, because the oh, for colour things. I'm apologising so much. I apologise. I just am in trouble speaking all of a sudden. Colour swatches are good because it not only helps you pick colours that you like, but it also helps you pick colours that go well together or complementary colours, which is something I still have a lot of trouble with. But if you get out a load of swatches, it can help, because then you can, if it's digital, then you can move it around and you can just put them everywhere, and it doesn't really matter because you can always erase them or just put them on a different layer, and that helps you. Yeah, so swatches are really useful. Like even traditional, like if you can just get a little bit of colour, just like a little square or something, and although sometimes you can't always see whether they go well next to each other so much, because you can't move them around as easy, if you put them on a little piece of card or something and colour, then you can move it and see what combinations go well. Sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Did I wake you up? I have a puppy with me, and I just woke him up. I'm sorry. What else do I have to say? I don't want to like keep going back and forth with something, because that's not very useful. For colours, another good thing is to paint without the previous sketch, because it kind of forces you to use colour as a way to not only add depth but also to separate certain areas of each picture, like you'd have to use the colours to separate the main subject from the background, and say the features of the main, well, not features because it's not necessarily a person, but in my case it'd be a person, so the features, so I'd have to use different colours to add depth, so you can see the difference between where his eyes are and where his nose is, and like basically define it. So if you do that they can be really helpful, because it literally forces you to do something that you would not normally do, because you don't have the line art to separate them yourself for you. Another good thing to do is observe other artists, because you get to see how they you get to learn other techniques and also see their process. That's the word I was looking for earlier. You get to learn their process and see how they go about things, and sometimes you can find like really useful things that you would not normally have thought of, or you maybe just didn't know of, or maybe you knew of but weren't quite sure how to go about it. So that's really good to do, like go to other artists' live streams, like things like that. So not all of them do live streams, but sometimes they'll do little gifs. I don't know, but I don't care, so it doesn't matter. See here, I'm so bad with colour, complementary colours. Like if you saw my wardrobe, it's literally, I literally constantly wear mismatched clothes. So yeah, that's something I'm really bad at. I'm probably going to have to learn to do this method, because it's something I'm not good at. Yeah, I should probably get my sister to help me about that. That's an effort. And I don't think she cares about that kind of stuff either, so she might not be much help. I think I'm getting near to the end of the video now. So hopefully the picture should come up soon. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Yeah, so basically studies, references, and observing of the artists, they can be really useful. And I will see ya.